The purpose of making a video like this, as I always used to say, that is not to put fear on people. Never. So do not watch my video and you start being afraid. That is not the purpose of this video. That is not the concept of this video. The purpose of this video is to prepare you mentally, equip you to understand what is actually going on and what is coming. You know, if someone announced that there will be war in next month, the cripple will begin to move before the war will start. And that is the reason why we are doing what we are doing, not to put fear on people, but to equip people and prepare people for what to come. Now, in Odeda local government area of Ogun State, the hunters gathered to pass a message. By the way, this is the late evening of Friday, May 22nd, 2026. Yes, the hunters in Odeda local government area in Ogun State. This is just few minutes to Lagos. ISÍS sent letter to these hunters that they are coming to kidnap school children in Ogun State. This, in fact, where they sent letter that they are coming to kidnap people, some people used to call that place Lagos. I have been to Ogijo. I have lived in Ogijo, those industrial zone, iron companies, African fundraise, iron companies, and the rest. I've worked in African fundraise in Ogun State, and iron company in there. So those areas close to Ikorodu, they used to call those places Lagos as well. People who are foreigners, who are far away from the southwest, if you come to this area, you will not know that this place is not Lagos. So Ogun State and Lagos State are just very close. You cannot even differentiate it. Agbara, Ogun State, if you get to there, if you are coming from Lagos, you will not even know that you have entered Ogun State. I'm just trying to explain to you the proximity of these two states. Now, in Odeda local government area, ISÍS sent letter that they are coming to kidnap school children. These jihadis, I don't know who is giving them morale. I don't know who is giving them. Like they have backups nationally and internationally. So I like the courage of the hunters. They held a press conference and they spoke in Yoruba language. I also have a little bit explanation of the video they made. So we are talking about that these people have been kidnapping. That even they kidnap close to Finish Station, they kidnap in Finish Station. They are now sacking so many people in Ogun State. And they now have the audacity to send a letter that they are coming to kidnap school children. Now, you people don't understand what this means. You know, if a criminal is coming to rob, that is where the Bible said, I will come like a thief. Because a thief doesn't give you notice. A thief will come when you are less prepared. A thief will come when you are sleeping. But these people will send a letter. They will send a letter to you, reminding you that they are coming. Then you should know that there is something wrong somewhere. You should know that there are powers in the government sponsoring these people. Because what I'm trying to tell you is this. If you watch the atmosphere in the Southwest now, everybody actually knows what is going on. They knew that these are jihadis conquering Southwest. But everybody is in the no key. You know why they are no? Because Tinubu is coming out for re-election. I pity you people. I want people to rise up to the occasion of defending themselves. Like these hunters you're about to listen to, I love what they are doing. I love the fact that they were able to gather. I love the fact that you may say that, oh, these people are holding shoot and run. They are holding a hunter's gun. They are holding pump action. In their numbers, if they can mobilize 100 to 200 people, they'll be able to challenge these terrorists. These terrorists, they don't have one kind of special training. There is nothing special about these people. One of their psychological things they used to move is fear. They try to put fear on people, make people to flee, do this. No. Yes, people may say, no, I don't want to die, but you are dying. You are dying. So people need to rise up to defend themselves. Listen to what these hunters are saying. We are living in a very dangerous time in Nigeria. Don't let anyone deceive you. Don't let the wave of 2027 deceive you. Do you now see how intelligent these terrorists are? They knew that during this election period, people will be concentrating on election. Just like people were concentrating on COVID 2021, these people were moving. This is the same thing happening. People are concentrating on, what is it called? People are concentrating on election and they are moving. Listen to these hunters.
We want everyone to hear of this because it seems people here within are not happy. You understand? That's you now make a parable that if calabash turn upside down, we open it, and if we can't open it, we break it with stone. So he now said, the presenter, I was talking about the presenter, he now said, what people need, they need government support. That's what these people need. So he now asked now greet the interviewer, the man, that he should wear done. You understand? He greet the man that he called the man and greet him well done. So he now pray. He now prayed. The president now prayed that may God not cut our life short. So you understand that what we are inside now. So the person said nobody understands. So the president said nobody understands it again. So he now making another parable that in Ogun State, charity begin at home. So that which he now asked the man that which assistance the government want to render to them, or what are they rendering to government pertaining to this scenario, which is insecurity level. So the man has said, the man make mention his name as Festus, as the chairman of the local security in Odeda local government. That it is not only Odeda local government these things is happening to, but it's common in Odeda local government as a whole. But as a whole. So you understand? So say last week they kidnapped someone they kidnapped someone in Odeda local government. So the man asking, the presenter asking, where did they kidnap the man? He now said after the Odeda secondary school, and the person they kidnapped, and the person that they kidnapped was a manager in one free station by the left after the secondary school, that village. The kidnapping, they're not asking around what time they kidnap, in the evening time, around that kind of 7. So he now said they kidnapped the man, although they released the man. So the presenter said, he now make a parable that they can't release someone free. That you know that they cannot release someone free. The man say yes, say they collected ransom from the man. So the man now move further by saying that 3 days ago that they were patrolling and they were informed that those kidnappers, those bandits wrote a letter to the villagers that they are coming to kidnap some students around the villagers. Like students around the village of in Bakatari, in Ogun, Olodo, and Odeda, and some villagers surround around the place. So ever since then, the police now starts patrolling around the villages. That some people around the villages. So the man said something that some people were born in that villages more than 40 years and they never leave the village for once. So when you now say that word, that they never step out from that village, and those kind of people knows the inside and outside of the village. Now say even though it's dark, those kind of people know much better about the village, the angles, the area they can walk through the village without any interruption. So the presenter asked the man, that how will outsider knows better than insider? No, the presenter asked the man that can outsider know? No, he said the insider, the outsider cannot know more than insider. That is one. He now asked the man to question that. Hope it is not the insider that are inviting the outsider. So the man now said they need bullets, pump action rifles, and solid protection. And also said there are some rifles that hunter cannot hold on to because of government and the constitutions, and the one they are permitted to use, the government should provide it for them as hunter. That they need motorcycle, bus to move around the villages for patrolling. So that's what you just said.
When I'm talking about Islamization agenda, you think you know better than me. You think most of us have been shouting and talking and trying to sensitize Nigerians about the Islamization agenda of this Fulani jihadists. You think you know better. And some of you in the West, from the Yoruba land, are so foolish that you think the people from the North, the jihadists, because they call Allah Akbar, you think you are the same. No. So I'm tired of the folly of Nigerians. Our foolishness knows no bound. Your foolishness knows no bound. That's when we should rise up and speak with one, with one voice. You think it's between Christian Muslim, and you play politics and you play ethnic cards with it. You all are foolish. I'm telling you. You think you know better. Between today is Thursday, between Monday and today, over 300 people have been annihilated, have been unalived in Nigeria, and nobody has done anything reasonable about it. You think you know better. When I tell you of Islamization agenda, you think you know better than me, isn't it? You all are foolish. Fulanis went to Woro village in Kwara State, which most of the people actually are Muslims. But because they have been preaching, they were preaching to them to accept Sharia as a governing law against the Nigerian constitution. Sharia as a governing law against the Nigerian constitution. And the people rejected. And the people said no, they would rather stick to the Nigerian constitution and be governed by the Nigerian constitution instead of Sharia. And even though most of these people are even Muslims, they executed, they did not just unalive them. They tied their hands behind their back in Woro village, tied their hands behind their backs. What you do to criminals, they tied their hands behind their backs and executed them. Over 200 of them. Oh, of course, the media say 170. In media tell you 170, I've always told you, divide that number by 2, they add what on top of it. So there are over 200 and something people that were executed because they refused Sharia law. And I told you the other time in my video when I was explaining the pattern of Islamization. When I was explaining the sequence, the stages of Islamization, number 1 is that they're moving. They're either moving by migration or they're moving by invasion. Number 2, they occupy government positions. And when they begin to occupy government positions, they begin to vow for, different stuff like that. Number 3, they begin to multiply. And when they multiply to a certain number, then number 4, they implement Sharia. And the moment you accept Sharia, then jihad will happen. And Nigeria presently, 12 states are practicing Sharia. 12 states. And if you think those people carrying these atrocities are carrying those guns at the minute, you are wasting your time because the people that are backing them up are the 2 people that are up high there. They are religious leaders, the oligarchs in the north, the politicians, most of them in the military that are backing them up. They will not come up, but they are supporting it. They want to turn Nigeria to a Turkey. They want to turn Nigeria to a Lebanon. They want to turn Nigeria to a Jordan. They want to turn Nigeria to an Egypt. And we keep shouting this thing every day. Wow, over 200 people executed like that, and we are going about our businesses as proper people with no consequence whatsoever. You think you know better than me, isn't it? I keep talking of Islamization agenda, but you think I'm foolish. Not knowing that you are the one that is foolish. For the Yoruba people, I warn you again, be careful. See, I've told you before, in that video I told you, I said the Igbo land will be the most difficult. But what they're going to use in the Igbo land is money, because they understand, see, the devil will always tempt you with what you like most. They know the Igbo people like money. And you'll find that their allergies will begin to woo their people. They'll begin to marry their daughters with money. They'll begin to settle their sons with money. And because of that, Islam will enter. But it will take a long time. So what they do is, they start conquering from the north, and then when they spread to the west, because it will be easy to spread into the west than to the southeast. And then from the west now, they'll conquer. Now you see, their activity in Kwara is very, very, is very evident now. Their activity in Kwara is evident. Their activities in Kwara is effective. Guess where they're going next? No. You think it's Igbo land or it's South? No, they're entering your state. And they're already in the forest of Oyo, presently as I'm telling you. Information reach me, they're already in the forest of Oyo. They'll spread to Ogun. And from there, you think you're in Lagos State and you cannot be touched. No. You think you're in Lagos State, you cannot be touched. I tell you, it's a matter of time. It's a matter of time. You see the speed at which they are moving. It is just a matter of time. It is just a matter of time. I want to tell you, look for how to defend yourself. These people are relentless. These jihadists are relentless. I call on President Tinubu, better do. You see, the re-election thing is just on your mind. The politicians they don't have your time. They don't care about you. Let 500 be killed today. They don't care. They'll go about their campaign. To them, it's about party. To them, it's about party. And we have idiots, useless men in this government that would rather come and instead of sympathize with the people or profess solution or aggressively attack these people, they would rather come out and banter Peter Obi or banter one party or the other. I'm telling you, if you don't stand and defend yourself and genuinely and vehemently resist Sharia in the West, your situation will be what is happening in the North. You think you know better, isn't it? When we keep shouting, we are playing tribal cards. You think it's because we're against Tinubu, we keep talking. And every time we bring up facts, you turn into tribal cards. You think it's about tribalism. You think it's about, because we are speaking against Tinubu, you are very foolish. You will still come under the street and attack me, but no problem. I want to call on the Nigerian military. As much as I know many of you are compromised, I want to call on the Nigerian government. Do not allow the Fulanis, a minority tribe that is causing mayhem, a minority tribe, an infinitesimal amount of people that can be silenced once. We can't allow them to get dominance, to get ground. I told you of Islamization agenda, you think I'm playing. No problem. If Sharia is not abolished intentionally in Nigeria, I am telling you, 20 years from today, we are not ending this problem. If Sharia is not abolished in Nigeria, 20 years from today, this challenge is not ending. We have become a people that is totally a people of no relevance. We have become a mockery to the international communities. Look, I'm talking now, they took the light. For 60-something years, power supplies cannot be constant in Nigeria. Causing chaos, causing anarchy in Nigeria. The Islamists, these Fulanis. I've talked about that you should hold Sultan accountable for a lot of this thing. You did not hear me. I've spoken that you should hold Gumi accountable for most of this thing. You did not hear me. No problem. We're here. I want to all keep saying that the church must rise up to begin to defend itself. Because you see, if they can do that to a community that are even with Muslims, simply because they rejected Sharia, how do you think it will be for Christian communities? If we don't rise up and begin to initiate the Crusader program gradually at this time, to begin to raise people, security networks for the church that will defend Christians in the Christian communities. If you think this is ending anytime soon, you are wasting your time. This what we are going to Nigeria is not ending anytime soon. It's not ending anytime soon until you meet their nonsense, their stupidity with a higher level of violence. Until you meet their violence with a higher level of violence before they run away. They will never stop as much as we keep negotiating. We say about over 100 people that were kidnapped from the church. They are still there. Entering to the church with such audacity and kidnap people that are still there. If you think this is ending anytime soon, you're wasting your time. If we don't rise and begin to meet their nonsense, their foolishness with a higher level of violence, 20 years from today, 30 years from today, we are not ending this. And I've told you, Nigeria will never be Islamized. We will rather divide. After all, I've said it over and over. This marriage, this entity called Nigeria is a scam. We have been deceiving ourselves for too long. Nobody wants to say. Even though many of us know it, nobody wants to say it is a scam. If we don't rise up, these guys are not relenting. They will continue to labor to ensure that they bring Nigeria to a Turkey or to a Lebanon state, and we will not permit that. We will rather divide. The church must rise up at this time. All those nonsensical compromises are trying to be diplomatic. These people are not diplomatic with you. You are the one that want to be diplomatic. Oh yeah, now. No problem. We will keep speaking. What we will not do again is to be silent.